got that shit on from out of state. She put a back in it. My closet got more than a rack in it.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Lauren Rei right here on What a Ice Radio, and we are back with another episode of the Lauren Rei Live Show. I'm super excited today, but first let me take care of some business. My boy Jay wasn't able to be in the building today, but he sends his regards, everybody. He will be missed. He'll be back next week, so don't even worry about it. Shout out to Brooklyn Bull. We are here in our new home. Thank you, Brooklyn Bull, for having us here. But I think we should get started right away because we got a big guest today. I'm super excited to have her in the building. She is a legend. She really doesn't need an introduction, but I'm going to do it anyway. She has been on the radio for some years now. She also is the DJ for the Philadelphia Eagles. We just saw her recently at the White House.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that too. She's been on TV. She's been on tour with Nicki Minaj. You know her. You love her. Miss DJ Diamond Kuts, everybody. Welcome to the show.
What's going on? Thanks for having me. I'm good.
I'm so excited to have you because you, like I said, you are a Philly legend. People don't talk about Philly DJs without having your name in that conversation. So how does that even feel, like being a part of just a echelon of DJs just across everywhere?
Yeah.
But within Philly, when you say Philly DJs, the first thing out of people's mouths like, oh, Diamond Kuts.
Yeah, no, it feels good. It feels good. And it's funny. I've been doing radio and everything that I've been doing for a while, but now I feel like, okay.
You just feeling like
I feel like I feel like I've been doing my thing in the city for a long time, but now I feel like the reach is going beyond the city, and it has done, it's been that way, but I feel more comfortable, I guess, in my DJ skin. Yeah. So it's like I feel good about where things are going. I'm not nervous. I don't feel like I'm about to be, taken by surprise or anything. And I just know myself a little bit more.
So I'm sure people do know, but if for the ones who don't, how did you really get your start in DJing? Like, what year did you start DJing?
I ain't gonna tell you the year, girl.
Okay, but I was. All right, I get it.
No, but my dad, who also in my mind and a lot of people was also a Philly legend. Yes. He's like a local rapper, but he used to rap with like Perry P, Jazzy Jeff, Cosmic Kev. So growing up, I would always hear about all of these great DJs and being around music my whole life. And I told him I wanted turntables. He was excited. Okay. He was like, definitely. So he got me like a little starter kit, and he kind of told me a few things about DJing. And being able that my mom also grew up across the street from Cosmic Kev.
Oh wow.
So
okay.
Yeah, so when they when my aunt or anybody would run into them, they'd be like, you gotta get with my niece, she DJing. And just being, I guess my dad and my mom being around and knowing so many people that was doing things in the city, they were like, Kev was like, all right, I used to work with his friend Brock. We used to work at like this record pool or whatever, and he's like, Dami, you ever think about doing radio? And I said, no, I didn't think about it. He said, give it a shot. Brock said, give it a shot. He said, I'm gonna link you with Kev.
Okay.
I linked with Cosmic Kev, and Kev like took time out like a couple times throughout the week, and he would kind of show me the ropes of radio, because I was like straight off the street. I was just the hoodest DJ. But radio, you kind of got to clean it up a little bit. And he kind of taught me the ropes. And from radio came touring came television, and then just a lot of great things kind of happened for me.
So that was like a good way to lead into this question. Like, how different is it? Like, we know you have to edit the music when you're like at a party, then you transition to radio. But like, what are like one of the biggest differences, other than editing, of course, from being a regular DJ at a party versus being on the radio?
Radio is different because, like you said, you have to play all clean version.
Right.
You have to be mindful that there might be some kids in the car. So
the kids are not worried about what you playing in the car. We just saw a couple TikToks recently of people in the car when they listening to the morning DJ with you, and I don't think the kids don't worry about the edited version. They just want to dance.
They just want to dance,
and the energy is high.
No, big facts. No, that's definitely true. But that's true. So that's one difference. Another difference is I know for me in a club, I'm more. I talk a lot more. I know a lot of people say I talk a lot on radio, but I talk a lot more in the club because it's more of an interaction because I'm seeing the people that I'm performing in front of. So you kind of gotta let the music play on radio and just keep it clean. I mean, that's really the only difference. Yeah.
So when you are on the radio in the morning, like I was just saying, it's very high energy. We know what we're going to get from Diamond Kuts. Like, so did you always set out that that's what you kind of wanted your slot in the radio to be? Like, when people hear me in the morning or whatever slot that I'm on, it's going to be high energy all the time.
Well, I got to give another shout out to Thea Mitchum. Thea, she is like big boss at iHeartRadio. She's at Power 105 now, amongst other things. But she was my first PD, and she sat me down and she says, "Okay, Diamond, we're happy you hear you're like no female DJ ever had like their own slot on the radio." Right. So she was saying, Kev is going to play the hard music, the street music. You got Doc B, he's going to play, his old school music, and he's going to play like the, the current hits and things like that. What are you going to bring to the table?
Right.
Now, for me, like I said before, when I started, I was into like mixtapes, and I was playing the heaviest, streetest stuff you could ever think about. Like, you know what I mean? But I said, how am I going to make a difference? And I always wanted to stand out. And I was like, I'm just going to be high energy. Like, and we did a mix show weekend, and I was like super high. My music was super high energy, and the response was just like, "Oh, who is this?" Yeah. And I was like, that's easy. This is like what I do anyway. I can do this too. So I kind of was like, okay, that's my thing. I'm gonna just always be high energy, give people good vibes when I'm on the radio.
Absolutely.
Like, I want people to, if they're feeling down or they're not having a really good day and they know that I'm about to come on, I'm gonna bring their energy up. You know what I mean?
Sure. I remember driving to work a couple times and like, I don't feel like this, but let me find that. I know Diamond Kuts on right now, and you going to work pumped. So being a female DJ, like, how have you felt like you've broken down those barriers to open doors for other female DJs, especially in the city? You don't see a lot, but there are some. You've broken down a barrier, and how do you feel like you've done that?
I'm not sure. I mean, I guess that may be a question you would probably have to ask another female. But for me, I don't know. See, because now I see, now I meet other girls, not even just in the city, but outside of the city. And they're like, you were such an inspiration to me. You're the reason I started. But I never knew like why. They would just tell me like, yo, I look up to you. You're the reason I wanted to DJ. So I don't know which aspect it was that triggered them, because people from out of town, I'm quite sure they didn't want to start because they hear me on the radio. They can't hear me on the radio from where they are. So I don't know if it was from television, which was another thing that I was doing, and I felt like and I don't want to like take the title of being the first DJ to like really do my thing on TV, because I'm not sure. But I don't know what it is. I just know what I do. For me, I kind of just remain true to myself and work extra hard. And I try to stand out in terms of when you are listening on the radio, you don't know if I'm a female or a male. You know what I mean? Right. All they hear is good music. So I don't like to kind of hold on to the fact like, oh, I'm a girl and I'm out here and I'm DJing. I just want to be a good DJ. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that work ethic kind of, flowed into, other DJs, because not even just girls, guys say the same thing.
Right.
So yeah, it could be a gazillion things. I don't know.
Well, you definitely have been an inspiration for sure. We definitely want to give you your flowers because I'm sure there's a lot of young females who inspire to be a DJ but don't really know how to like kind of break into the business or thinking it's all male dominated. But seeing someone like yourself and on these big platforms, it gives them inspiration to be able to do it. But you're not just a DJ.
Yeah.
You're a producer as well. Talk a little bit about some of the things that you have produced over this time.
I've done a lot of things. My favorite music to produce is definitely club music. I love producing club music. But I guess some of the bigger songs I've done, I did a song with Nicki. Something I'm super excited about that I still am to this day. Because I'm a Disney fanatic. I love Disney. I go to Disney World like 2-3 times a year.
My favorite place to go.
It's horrible. So they actually reached out to me maybe like a couple years ago based off of the club music that I was doing. And they wanted me to do a remix for one of their records that they had. So when I think, I'm like, dang. When that check came and it said Disney Records on there, oh my God.
I didn't even know there was a Disney record.
Yo, yeah, it is. And it was so crazy. Yeah, so it was like, it was Disney Records and Mickey Mouse on there. I said, oh, snap.
This place I'm always going to.
I need to actually print that out and put that up. They pay me really good too, so shout out to Disney.
Shout out to Disney. Yeah, it's one of my favorite places to visit too. So them paying you back for all them times that you've been there.
They ain't pay me enough, but they ain't pay me enough to get all my money back.
Right.
You go to one trip is $5,000
it's
or more.
Lot. And you're a mother too, so I know you have a son, so it gets real expensive, especially when you go in there and buying stuff in the parks.
Yeah,
it's always a good time. So Disney, that's huge. But you've also like discovered some artists, shall I say, Little Uzi to be exact. Yeah. That's huge. I mean, Uzi is worldwide now. So did that start here in Philly? Like, did you know him before he got this start?
Yeah. So my husband and I, we have a production company. We do music together. He's a really great engineer. And Uzi came to the studio with one of his friends. I think it was Will. And Uzi, I guess, was telling Buzz like, "Yo, I want to put me on. I want to, make music or whatever." And Buzz called me and he was like, "Yo, this kid Uzi, he want to work."
Right.
And I was like, well, I think I looked him up on Instagram or something. I seen a couple pictures. I was like, he's a little fly boy. I said, let's go, let's do it. Like, I think we should do it. And it kind of started from there. And I was playing his music on the radio, and Don Cannon was passing through. And he was like, Diamond, who's this kid you playing on the radio? I said, his name is Uzi. He's like, I want to meet him. And Cannon came. We was in Maniac. Cannon came to the studio and Maniac, and he met Uzi, and the marriage is there. You see the rest.
That's crazy. Definitely for on your resume, that's definitely something to have. And a lot of people sometimes like Uzi is different, like his style is different. When you looking for different artists to maybe produce or discover, are you looking for something that's outside of the box, or different from everything that you're normally hearing on the radio, or do you kind of stay in, I guess what we would say, in your lane?
In my lane? No, the only thing that I look for that's the most important, that's for all the artists, is work ethic. When Uzi would go in the studio, he would record so many songs, and he wanted to live in the studio. He loved being in the studio. You have an artist that doesn't really like going to the studio, or they record songs every once in a while. How are you going to see a result from that? Right. You know what I mean? You have gazillion artists out here making music, making songs, releasing music every single day. We're flooded with it, social media, everywhere. So it's like you have to be consistent, and you got to keep working. And sometimes we hear artists like, this artist is trash. How did they get this? How did they get here?
Right.
They got good work ethic. You know what I mean? So that's the number one thing, work ethic. And then of course, since I've done so much, of course I want to attach myself to somebody that has actually good music. Yeah. So it's a little bit of both, but first and foremost, it's definitely work ethic, hands down.
Well, that's a good place for us to take a quick break. When we come back, we have a lot of good stuff going on.
Yeah.
I definitely want to talk about how you was at the White House a couple weeks ago, how that came about. But we also want to talk about a venture that you guys have coming up, something huge that's nostalgic but coming back.
Yes.
Your MTV Raps. So everybody, it's your girl Lauren Rei right here on What Ice Radio with the Lauren Rei Live Show at the beautiful Brooklyn Bowl with DJ Diamond Kuts. We will be right back. We are back, everybody. It's your girl Lauren Rei right here on What Ice Radio. We got DJ Diamond Kuts in the building. Shout out to Brooklyn Bowl again for having us here. Great conversation. Thank you again for being here. We were just talking behind the scenes, like, I do my homework, y'all. I do my research.
You know what you're doing.
Thank you. But I saw in a previous interview that you had a big interview, The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
I was really excited to see you on there. You don't see too many people from Philly pass through there. So
I know.
I was like, okay, Diamond Kuts.
I felt popping, okay?
Listen, I'm trying to get there. You talked about that, something that is kind of near and dear to my heart as well, is mental health.
Yeah.
I've struggled with depression and anxiety really bad, and the pandemic did not help with that at all. But you talked about being in a dark place at a certain point in time, but you kept like pushing through. But someone noticed that you weren't the normal bubbly Diamond Kuts that you normally are. Do you remember when you kind of first noticed that something was like going on?
Yeah, when I first noticed it, I was driving home and my chest just felt really tight, and I felt that like a numbness in my tongue. Yeah. And I was trying to catch my breath, you know? And I'm like, something is wrong with my heart. Now, one thing about me, y'all, okay? I go to the doctors for everything. I leave no, what they say, stone unturned?
Yes.
Absolutely not. So I went to the ER.
Okay.
And they were like, you had a panic attack. And I said, what? I said, what's a panic attack? 'Cause I never really heard of it before, or associated with it. I heard of course, but not for me. So I called, I remember I called my mom and I said, Mom, I had a panic attack. It's weird. It came out of nowhere. So after that, it kept happening. Like, I felt like my vision would get blurry, and my heart would drop, and it was tightness, can't breathe again. And I remember not being able to sleep, and I would be the only one up, and I would always call my mom. I call my mom for everything. And I was like, Mom, please help me. I was crying. I was like, Mom, please help me. I can't shake this feeling.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know what's wrong with me, and I need help. Now, dang, I should have got some tissues.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. So, at one point, I felt like if I wasn't here, I wouldn't feel this.
Right.
I didn't want to feel that because my dad committed suicide.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So I had my son. I just had my son, and everybody know about the Uzi situation. I don't even want to talk about that, but we're cool now. But just so many things was happening to me at once, and I kind of felt like I didn't have any control over my feelings, and I kept having these panic attacks. And I was I was on a panel with all of these amazing women, and someone said to me, I said, it just went away out of nowhere. And they said, do you think it went away because you made yourself busy, right? And I said, oh snap, I didn't even realize that I was so busy that I didn't have time to think about anything bad. Right. Not to say that I was like kind of like making I felt like I was gonna keep making myself busy or whatever just so I wouldn't feel this feeling, because sometimes you just can't always be busy,
right?
You know what I mean? And you know what they say, an empty mind is a devil's playground. Idle mind is a devil's playground. So I started making myself busier. I was just busier because I had a concert that I was doing, so I was super busy at that time anyway. But I just kind of kept moving, you know, pushed through it. And when people come to me and they say, "Oh, I keep having these panic attacks. I don't know what's going on," and it's something that you can't talk somebody out of. It's the weirdest thing.
It really is, and I wasn't laughing but smiling back at you because those are the exact same things that I was feeling, and I never understood it. I actually, when I found out, I was at a meeting in my 9 to 5, in a huge corporate meeting, and I literally thought that I was having a heart attack. Yeah. And they stopped the meeting because something was wrong. And then my anxiety went even higher now that I think about it, because I was embarrassed. They had to take me to the hospital because, of course, they were like, "We want to make sure that you're all right." And my mom came, my dad came, and they're like, "We've never seen you like this before. Like, are you okay?" They did everything they could, check up on me and everything, and they let me go. They were like, "We don't see anything wrong with your heart. You're fine, whatever." 2 days later, it happened again, but I was driving, and that's scary as hell. Okay, and I had to pull over, and someone actually saw me pull over. He stopped and asked if I was okay, and I was like, "No, I'm not okay." And I went back to the hospital again. At this point, I'm like, "No, there's something wrong. Y'all just don't know what y'all talking about."
Yeah.
Same thing, but my PCP had my primary care doctor happened to be doing runs at the hospital that day that I went to, and he came over and he was like, "I've been seeing you for years. I've never seen this before. I think you're having anxiety or panic attacks."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What?" Like, you, same thing as you said. My mom kind of was like, "Why would she be having panic attacks?" Because you're thinking like everything is going great, nothing's wrong, and it's like overwhelming feeling keeps coming over you. But I also remember being in that place where I can't go to sleep in the middle of the night. I live alone, so I don't really have anybody to talk to. Who do you call at 2-3 o'clock in the morning when you can't go to sleep? And it's a very lonely feeling, and it almost is to the point where it's debilitating, because then you like, well, I don't want to go outside because what if it happens if I'm at another event or something like that? And this time we're getting the podcast together with us, and then it switched to anxiety, but then it switched to being depressed about it because you don't know how to shake it.
Yep.
So, and it's funny that, now mental health is a really big topic, but if now I think back about it, we weren't really talking about it then, and especially in our community, the Black and brown community, of course. But a lot of people are struggling because they think what they have to do is just push through it. But it comes back up.
It comes out of nowhere. And you feel like whatever that is that triggered it, don't come back.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You be like, sometimes you be on edge, like, I hope it doesn't happen. I hope it doesn't happen. It could possibly trigger it for you. But, I decided to kind of treat it holistically. And I know what my triggers are now. So, what do you kind of normally do now when you know that maybe it may be coming on, to kind of like settle yourself to like stay calm?
Well, thankfully it has not come back for years.
Good.
I don't know what the triggers were. Okay. That's the craziest part. It might have been because I was a new mom. I felt when you become a new mom, I don't know if this is for everybody, but it was definitely for me. It was like, oh my God, I have to do everything right. I can't mess up. I gotta do everything right, and I have to stay alive for my son.
Right.
Like I have to be here. That, and then there was music stuff going on at the time. It was also me thinking, okay, Thea also said this to me. She was saying, it's not about what you do now. When I was pregnant, it's not about what you do now. It's about, I think she was kind of saying, like, it's about how you handle it, your career after, right? So a lot of someone else told me when I told them I was pregnant, oh, it's over for you. You can't. This is
you're not going to time.
You're not going to time. You can't bounce back. Listen, I was touring. I took like a small tour with Chrisette Michelle.
Okay.
And I was touring with her all the way till I was 7 months pregnant.
Wow.
And I stopped because on a plane, I don't know what it was. it was hurting my stomach. I don't know what it was, and I was running through the airports and stuff like that. And then
it was time to sit down.
It was time to sit down. And then the last thing that I did, Obama came to Temple, I think it was, and I spun.
The famous drop that we.
Yeah. No, that wasn't even that one. That one was in Germantown.
Okay.
Yeah, but this was the second time.
Okay.
Temple, and I was super pregnant. It was like probably like 8 months. That was the last thing that I did. I made sure I did that. even if they say your water broke, I gotta get there on the Temple.
When our president is, we gotta go.
I gotta
right?
make sure I'm there. Yeah, so that was like the last job that I took. So saying this to say, I pretty much worked throughout my whole pregnancy.
Right.
And the day I left the hospital, so I was born in Edmonton. Mm-hmm. The day I left the hospital, I went to the station to go do my talk breaks.
The day you left the hospital?
Yes, newborn baby in the car. I said, go to the station. I gotta do my talk breaks. I never stopped. I
know your husband was over you.
He know me. He know I'm crazy. And I went and I did my talk breaks. And I was doing my mixes. I was still working. My PD, he was like, Derek, he's like, Diamond, you need to take time. I said, no, I don't need to take time off. Let's go. Let's get it.
So you didn't take a real maternity leave?
No, I ain't taking no maternity leave. I told you, girl, I was working. Oh, he listen, my PD ain't even know I had my son until somebody else told him. They were like, Diamond, you had the baby? Yeah.
I was gonna say that. That's normally not my thing. But I was gonna say it was the best hitting pregnancy of all time. You just dropped out with a baby.
I did, and I did that because I wanted to keep working.
Okay.
I didn't want people to say, "Oh, we can't book Diamond, she's pregnant."
Right.
No, I'll tell you when I want to stop working or when I want to.
You hear that?
Yeah.
Expecting mothers or new moms.
And I feel like it's more acceptable. I mean, it's been kind of acceptable,
right,
like in the industry, and they didn't put like that stigma on you, whatever. Right. But now it's like. At that time, I said, I want to keep working. Don't tell anybody. And only a few of my family members knew. Okay. Right? Some of my family, like my aunt, she was like, how can you're what? I told her like when I was 5 months pregnant. I said, you're 5 months pregnant? You didn't even tell me?
You can't tell every family member.
Yeah, yeah. And I said, don't tell anybody. You know, kind of keep it to yourself within the family.
Did a baby shower, everything?
I had a low-key baby shower. Low-key everything. Nobody knew nothing. I didn't even post him till he was like maybe like a year and a half old or something.
I promise. I was like, when did this
That's what they was like, who is this kid? And a few of my friends knew. Shout out to Lee Mason, she knew. It's my friend Shantae, my best friend. That was it. Those is like the only 3 friends that know.
That's good though. You kept going. Now I know I derailed us, so
that's okay. I never even talked about that before. You decent.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I promise when we come back, y'all, we are really going to talk about her at the White House. We're going to talk about your MTV Raps. I promise. We coming right back. It's your girl Lauren Rei. What a Ice Radio, Diamond Kuts. Yeah. Stay tuned. We are back, everybody. It's your girl Lauren Rei. What a Ice Radio. Brooklyn Bull. Paid the bills. Diamond Kuts. We back to you. We promise them. We coming right back to talk about what you got going on. So I'm scrolling. Easter Sunday. You know, we have a group text for the Water Ice team, and I saw you at the White House with your beautiful son, and I said, yo, Diamond Kuts is at the White House DJing for their Easter egg, the annual Easter egg roll, I think it's called. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I was like, we ain't gonna be able to get her now. She at the White House. and Heck was like, no, we got it. But the White House, that's huge. I mean, we know that, like I just said, the infamous drop with President Barack Obama. So you've been around presidents before and been able to DJ for them. But how did you actually DJ at the White House come about?
Oh man, because I've done so much, so many political things and all of the stuff that I do. They reached out to me and they were like, "Would you be interested?" I said, "Hell yeah!"
Right.
I always wanted to take Aiden to that's my son's name. I always wanted to take Aiden to the Easter egg roll.
Okay.
But I was never successful at it. I was always too late, or I didn't put it, So when they asked, I was like, definitely, hands down, let's do it. Right. So I get there and they're giving me a walkthrough. Now a lot of us drive by the White House, far away behind the gates. But when I was like standing right there in front of it, I was like, oh snap, this is the White House. It was cold.
What's the clearance to get into the White House like?
Girl.
Did you have to give a vow of
yes.
blessings?
I thought I was giving my life away. No, but that's the same as all the time. But
Right.
this time it was a little bit more
Intense.
serious. Yeah, more intense because they checked everything. I mean, I was asking day one to see what I ate this morning. Like
Right.
seriously. But no, it was cool. They have to do that.
Of course.
But yeah, it was intense. But it was a lot of fun, and it was cold, and it was raining, and I didn't bother me, my son, nobody. We just had a good time. We just had a good time. It was a lot of fun.
All the kids were having a good time. Like, were they? Did you have to share, of course, your set list with them before?
I did.
You did.
Yeah, I had to.
Okay, you had to.
I knew that, and I don't play off set lists ever. I always play off of a vibe.
Okay.
Right. So when I do any event, I look at the crowd and I be like, oh, okay, I think this might be that type of party.
Okay.
And you put a little test records and we'll see what they like, and they're like, oh, y'all like this, I got more of that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I don't like playing off a set list, but I had to because it's kids. And you got to make sure everything is super duper clean. So it was a different experience, and it was a challenge, and I love a good challenge. So when somebody asks me to DJ something I've never done before, I'm always going to jump at it because I'm like, I never did that before.
Right.
I got to do it, you know. So that was one of those things. But it was a lot of fun.
Did you get an opportunity to meet President Biden?
I didn't get a chance to meet him, which was okay.
There was a lot of other celebrities and stuff.
I seen people just all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't get a chance to meet him. I didn't actually walk up to anybody. I don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I just go and I work, and I just try to enjoy myself, have a good time, and live in the moment. I'm trying not to chase people down.
I feel like that's a Philly thing. Like,
It
when we
is.
from Philly, we
don't bother nobody.
We don't bother nobody. Like, I saw a video the other day with Wallow, and he was like, we think we being Joe. You know what I mean? In the other word. But it's like it's a vibe with us. Like, we don't want to do too much.
Yeah, and I've always been like that, and I always let my work speak for itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's there are people that I really, really want to meet.
Mm-hmm.
And even when I have the opportunity, of course I'm going to, express myself to them, but I'm not chasing nobody down. And I barely, if you go on my Instagram, I be around people all the time. You barely see me posting pictures with celebrities and stuff like that. I don't do that. You know what I mean? I just like to let my work speak for itself. I don't like to chase anybody. We all human, you know what I mean?
Right,
we all got
of
blood. We all got skin, nails, whatever.
So you are Philly all the way to the core,
Mm-hmm.
but this is a huge Philly thing. DJing for the Eagles.
Yes.
You bleed green?
Yes.
Okay. So we just want to
Oh, I
make
guess
sure.
we all probably don't got the same blood. 'Cause
Yeah.
some people ain't bleeding green. No, yeah.
So how's that DJing for the Eagles?
That's fun. That was fun. That was one of those things where, like, when you're a creative, most creatives, their brains don't stop moving, and my brain don't stop moving. And it was like 2-3 o'clock in the morning or something like that. I wake up super early, annoying, and I was like, I wonder if the Eagles got a DJ. So I had hit up Rodney McLeod. Shouts to Rodney McLeod. I hit him up, and I said, Rod, did the Eagles got a DJ? He was like, I don't think so. And I said, well, let me, hit him
Talk to
up.
somebody.
Yeah. So I got in. I sat with the VP and and my girl over there, and we was asking questions. They was asking me questions, and we was supposed to get started in 2020, but you know what happened in 2020. Right. So I didn't actually get started into 2021. Mm-hmm. And
the link is already live.
Yeah.
Outside and inside.
Yeah.
So how you interact with that energy that's already there?
That's different too, because I only DJ'd the beginning.
Okay.
All right, now in while the game is playing, a few of my mixes they might play, but I only spin in the beginning because during the game it's only like 1 or 2 minute slots to even play music because they're there for football.
Right.
So that's fun. I forgot what your question was, but
just like how it was being with the Eagles, especially being from here. And we're such a big sports town. So
serious about them Eagles.
Serious about them Eagles.
And them Sixers
and the Sixers. So just to be in that space. But another big thing that you have coming up, and I'm an 80s baby, so this is like big. You guys are bringing back Yo MTV Raps.
Yeah.
Me and my co-host Jay, we always talk about like coming home from school, watching a couple things that, you know, on our list of things that we always watch, and that's one of the things on the list.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
They reached out to me and they were like, you know, would you be interested? And I said, hell yeah. I say hell yeah all the time. I said, hell yeah, let's go. So they were like, okay, so we want to be honest, we do have like other people that we're looking at, but you are our first pick. We really wanted to work out with you.
Okay.
And they said you'll be hosting with Conceited. We want to do like a little test, like a little chemistry test or whatever. And me and Conceited, we just clicked. Like, you know, it was, and my knowledge of music and everything that I do, and I'm a DJ, it just made sense. And I do have like TV experience and radio experience and all of these other communication experiences. So it was an easy transition. It was a very easy transition, and we taped it, and you know,
it's coming out soon.
Yeah. Well, it's out now.
It's out now.
Yeah.
Because it's streaming. Actually,
streaming.
Right?
It's streaming on Paramount Plus, and I think everywhere else around the world, I think it's on like MTV or something.
So out of all the people that you interviewed, I'm not going to ask you who your favorite was, but what was your most interesting interview and artist to talk to?
My favorite person to talk to.
She said favorite. Okay.
My favorite. No, I had a lot of cool people that I loved speaking with. Lotto was one of them. Trina.
Okay.
Yeah. And y'all gotta watch it. If you ain't tuned in yet, make sure y'all check it out. But it's some good interviews on there.
All right, we're gonna check it out. You talked a little bit about touring too. You tour with Nikki.
Yeah.
You said you did a small tour with Chrisette Michelle. Do you like the touring life, or do you kind of like to be stable here at the radio station?
No, you know it's crazy. When I first started DJing, I never wanted to do radio. I wanted to tour. I didn't want to sit in one spot. But touring is fun.
Okay.
Touring is fun. You get to go all over the world, see so many things. But so many times I've sat and I've just played music behind people, and I was like, yo, I want to be my own person. You know what I mean? Touring is great, and I'm knocking any tour DJs out there. That's a awesome thing to do. You get to see the world, and you get to perform for a lot of people.
Right.
But I was like, I want to be my own person. I didn't want to be attached to anybody. I didn't want to be Nicki Minaj, that's Nicki Minaj's DJ. That's Power 99's DJ. I wanted to be my own person. So touring was fun, and it was a great experience, and I'm thankful to have had it and continue to do things. But I like to kind of be my own person and move on my own. So I can't see myself being like doing it again. Maybe later on down the line, I never know, but for now, I'm happy where I'm at.
Like that craziest tour you ever been on, remember?
Craziest tour I've been on, gotta be Nikki. Yeah.
I know her fans are different. It's louder than what we really see, right?
Yeah,
I know
they love her. It was touring. I learned so much from Nikki. Like, I know a lot of people, and then even she says it sometimes, where people feel like she's like be, I guess, quote unquote bitchy or whatever. But I learned so much from her. I felt like my DJ voice didn't become my DJ voice until I was touring with her, because I did like tour with Lil Mama. We did like the Chris Brown tours and stuff like that. But Nikki, when I was with her, it was Pink Friday Nikki, the Roman Reloaded Nikki. It was like, you guys know what you're doing up here. You know what I mean?
It was a time to be alive.
Yes,
sure.
yes. So touring with her was fun, and I learned a lot from her. She is like a machine. Just watching another woman just kind of just kill it. Like, you really doing your thing. Really about your business. I learned a lot from her, and I'm so thankful to have worked with her.
So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, unfortunately, we got to wrap it up. I can sit here and talk to you all day about your
Girl,
stuff.
you can call me.
But when we come back, we're just going to see like what else you got coming up, if there's anything that you could tell us about, and just what you want, our audience to remember about you and where you want your legacy to stay. So it's your girl, Lauren Rei, right here. We're coming right back with Diamond Kuts. It's Water Ice Radio, y'all. All right, we are back, everybody. It's your girl, Lauren Rei, right here with Ice Radio. We are here with Diamond Kuts, and y'all, all good things sometimes have to come to an end. And again, we want to thank you, Diamond Kuts, for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
But do you have anything other than the stuff? I mean, you got a lot of stuff going on. You got anything else that you want the audience to know about? You got coming up?
Just look, follow me on all my socials. I'm not big on like telling everybody what I got coming up. But things that you see.
Okay.
I don't know, Bruce Picnic. There's a lot of stuff coming up. You'll see.
All right. I like it. I like the element of surprise.
Yeah.
One thing we like to ask our guests is, what's like one motto that maybe you live by that you can share with everybody, something to keep them motivated, to keep going, and also just what do you want people to remember you by?
I want people to remember me as, a lot of people say that like, oh, Diamond, she's so down to earth, she's so cool, easy to talk to, and I love that about me, that I will talk to anybody, and anybody can have my phone number, and just that you're not really supposed to say these things about yourself, but I'm going to remain humble, and I want people to always say, that about me, that Diamond was humble, she's cool, anybody can talk to her, easygoing, hard worker, and that's, hard working, cool shit.
Well, you are all those things, and we definitely like to give our flowers around here. So again, just thank you for coming to the show. Thank you for always showing Water Ice love, of course. Just thank you for being a pillar in our community as well. We see you at a lot of community-based things.
Yes.
So just being Philly all the way to the core. You know what I mean? Sometimes people from Philly, they leave, they forget about us, but Diamond, you've always been here. Even on the Breakfast Club interviews, repping Philly,
even from the White House, come back.
Exactly, right? White House, everything. So make sure you guys are following Diamond Kuts, but also make sure you guys are following waterice.com.
Yes.
We are your scoop to everything Philly. We have a TikTok now, and our boss got us doing these TikTok videos that you'll see me looking crazy in. So make sure you follow us on TikTok as well. It is. It's fun, right? Make sure you're going to our website to grab some, to find out what everything we're doing in Philly. And also to grab our merch is up there as well. And just follow the whole fam. We're just excited that Philly is on board with Water Ice, so we're excited. We got great interviews coming up for you, and we got some more events. Outside is open, people are outside, and we got some good events coming up to you for summer 2022. And you guys know how we end the show. Not all superheroes wear capes. Sometimes we wear headphones. Peace.